All right, what's up? Welcome back to the INT podcast. I'm Isaiah. This is my friend Tyler.
Hello.
And we're going to be doing a recap of the NFL Week 7 2022 NFL season.
Yep.
So, starting it off, we have the Browns and the Broncos. As a Browns fan, how do you feel about this game?
You know, I'm impressed by their offense. Okay, and the run game has definitely stepped it up. And
When you have the best
before.
line in the league, that helps.
Okay, yeah, that's true. But you got to think. We had injuries on our line this week, and they still stepped it up. We didn't even have our. Now showing how Dearness Johnson, Kareem Hunt, and Nick Chubb, all three running backs who could be honestly RB1s on some teams. We have
Not
three.
Nick Chubb. Kareem Hunt should be traded.
Debatable. I think the Browns like how they're using him in the passing game, kind of as just to stay, just to keep defenses not playing just the run against that team when they see Nick Chubb and Hunt, because he's more of like a receiver, kind of like Cordell Patterson.
Yeah, but the only thing is, I really think Kareem Hunt should go on another team. A lot of teams need running backs. He's arguably a top 10 running back, and I think they could get a lot of value off him. Also, another guy should get traded on this team is Odell. Just doesn't fit in that scheme. There's a lot of teams that could use that receiver. Like, let's say the Lions should make an offer for Odell. Imagine something like that.
Yeah, I could see it. The Browns, Odell has not been that good for them. Huge disappointment since he's left the Giants. People are saying this is going to be his breakout year. He's going to put up wide receiver one numbers. He's going to go off, and it's just not happening.
I think he needs to get out of that scheme, though. It's a run-first scheme. He needs to leave that scheme, go to a team that would fit him better. Like the Niners. Imagine Odell on the Niners.
Yeah. But also the Browns, I know, with Odell Beckham, they like to spread the ball around. I think Odell likes to be wide receiver one. He is super injury prone, so he's rarely on the field. And also the Browns, they don't really need Odell when they have Landry. I know Donovan People-Jones hasn't been that bad. They have Michael Short, or I believe that was the dude who they drafted, but he's been looking solid. I know he had a decent game last week. They have great receiving weapons. They have David Njoku and Austin Hooper as solid tight end options. That offense likes to spread the ball around. I wouldn't be too sad to see Odell Beckham leave the Browns this trade deadline.
If the Niners went out and traded like a second for Beckham, they could easily get Beckham, honestly. But I think he'd be a great fit for the Niners, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. Kyle Shanahan, man, I don't like that guy after what he's doing to Brandon Ayuk, but yeah, I can see it.
I think he'll get Odell involved a lot, especially in like the end arounds and shovel passes. I think that Odell would fit really well.
Kyle Shanahan and the Niners, they have great weapons. Brandon Ayuk has not seen targets at all. He had a breakout campaign, and they've just been ignoring him this year. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Up next, you got the Chiefs and the Titans. Are the Titans legit? Are the Chiefs bad? That's the question that we have to ask.
No.
No to both of them?
Okay. It's difficult. You see, the Titans, I don't know what to think of them just yet. Okay. They've had bad weeks. We know they've lost the Jets, but they beat the Chiefs, who okay. First off, I'd like to address the Chiefs question. The Chiefs are not bad. The Chiefs are still a top 5 team. Not playing like it this year.
Talent-wise, they're top 5. They're just too. The problem with the Chiefs, they're way too top-heavy. They rely too much on their playmakers, and then when you look at the rest of their roster, it's just not that great.
Yeah, their offense is still great. That defense needs help bad. It is a bad defense. I would say.
Honestly, the defense turned it around in the second half. The Titans didn't score again in the second half, but the offense couldn't do anything.
Well, also, you got to think that in the second half, the Titans weren't starting most of their players. They weren't going to be giving Derrick Henry like 50 carries. But
Derrick Henry had more passing touchdowns than Mahomes that game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Can't forget about that one. That was crazy. Yeah, Tannehill did his job, honestly. What he's supposed to do.
Yeah, he's definitely a serviceable quarterback. Nothing more than that, but
and AJ Brown
Baker.
AJ Brown had a great game as well.
I agree. AJ Brown went off. Henry, I mean, doesn't disappoint, but
it wasn't his best game. I think this is the worst game we've seen from him all year.
Yeah, but
Without saying something when it's 29 carries for 86 yards. That is good still.
Yeah, I know. He is. I still agree. He is the best running back in the league currently.
Definitely.
But Chiefs are not bad. Titans, I would lean towards them being legit. It depends what you think of legit means. I do not think that they are going to be going on a Super Bowl run.
Contenders. They could make it to the AFC Championship. You could see that.
Yes, I could see that.
I don't know. If they get it together, yeah, but I just can't.
I don't think they will
as they're playing.
I don't think they will, but I think they have a chance.
All right.
I think honestly, the AFC championship at this current moment, I would probably say it would be the Bills and the
Chargers, Bengals, Ravens. It's hard to say.
Yeah, it's close. I think the Bills would make it for sure.
All
They're
right,
definitely.
So here's one of your wrong picks. You picked the football team. No, I'm just kidding. No, football team. They actually dominated the Packers in yards. You remember when we were watching the game? The football team was dominating the Packers in yards. They just couldn't capitalize. Yeah. I think they went 3 straight red zones without scoring a point.
Yeah, that's crazy. They've made a ton of errors. They've made a ton of mistakes.
Yeah, a ton of mental errors. A lot of penalties in the red zone. A lot of Taylor Heineke diving when he had no need to, putting them at the 1 yard line. Bad play calling in the red zone. They looked really bad in the red zone that week.
I agree. Packers deserve that game. But yeah, football team disappointment this year. They are not going to make the playoffs.
2-5. I don't see it.
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year. I'm sorry, guys, but who it is.
Heineke had 95 yards rushing. That's pretty good, though. And McLaurin had a pretty good game.
Yeah, Heineke is actually not that bad of a rusher. It's crazy to think that we probably wouldn't have even known Heineke if he didn't fill in last season in the playoffs. Yeah, if Alex Smith didn't.
Honestly, the Packers didn't do much on the run game, but Aaron Rodgers, almost 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. There's not much to say about that. It's nothing special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. One of the most shocking games of the week. Bengals going into Baltimore and blowing them out. Crazy.
Yeah. I agree.
Jamar Chase went off. 8 catches, 200 yards, and a touchdown. Insane game from Jamar Chase.
I'm not sure if any of you guys saw the last podcast, but somebody said that the Ravens were going to blow out the Bengals this game, and it wasn't going to be close.
I was right about the game not being close. I just got the teams mixed up.
That's a big difference, but yeah.
Bro,
Jamar Chase.
Joe Burrow looked amazing, 400 yards.
Jamar Chase, honestly, if you just look at receivers right now and didn't look at past stats or anything, Jamar Chase looks like a top 5 receiver in the league right now.
Yes.
He is looking like the real – he is looking like a great receiver, and he is definitely proved people wrong as to why he should be drafted ahead of Penei Sewell.
Yeah, definitely.
And that Bengals offense, I mean, they have a ton of great weapons. Also, another thing I'd like to mention is, as some of you know, this past Sunday was actually National Tight End Day.
I don't think the NFL talked about it enough, right? You don't think they talked about it enough?
No. It's totally not like every single thing that involved a tight end, they mentioned it. But yeah, if you guys watched a single one of the NFL games, you would know that it would be national.
Especially the 1 o'clock games. The 1 o'clock games, they would not shut up about it.
I know. But big props to CJ Uzomah. He actually he went out that game and he had a breakthrough game. Crazy good game.
So did Marquise Brown, but Marquise Brown has definitely turned it around this season, showing to be what we thought he could be. Lamar Jackson put that team on his back, though. And you just can't be doing that. You can't rely on Lamar Jackson. He's not going to win when your defense is allowing 40 points. Okay. Up next, another big shocker. The Giants beating the Panthers. Sam Darnold getting benched is probably the biggest headline of this game. What do you do as a Panthers fan?
Crazy. I feel bad for you guys because now you know that the coach Ron Rivera does not have faith in Sam Darnold.
I don't think it's Ron Rivera.
What?
Isn't he the football team coach?
Oh, or not Ron Rivera. I'm sorry. Wasn't he their old coach? Or no? Yeah. Wait.
I forgot
who's their head coach?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. Hold on. I'll look it up right now. Panthers head coach.
Matt Rule.
Matt Rule?
I'm dumb.
Matt Rule.
Wasn't Ron Rivera their old coach?
Yeah, he was a coach for them at one point.
Okay. Never mind, I messed that up. Okay. So, yeah, Matt Rule. I don't know how to say that last name. Yeah. It's showing a lot that he does not have faith in Sam Darnold, which is, you'll see a lot of these head coaches, like Matt Nagy with Justin Fields, a lot of these head coaches, they'll have faith in their quarterback, and even if they're having a bad game, they know and that they trust them to turn it around. But Matt just totally said...
Matt Rule completely took Sam Darnold out of the game.
He just cut him.
Chuba Hubbard looked horrible. DJ Moore had a pretty solid game, but you only put up 3 points. And you want to hear something? Yep. Daniel Jones didn't do anything special besides that one-handed catch that I know we all saw.
That offense is not going to be the same until they have Christian McCaffrey back.
You want to hear something? Last game, Daniel Jones was top 5 in receiving yards for the Giants.
That's crazy.
That's kind of funny. All right. Let's move on. Oh my! You really want to talk about National Tight Ends Day? Let's talk about the Dolphins-Falcons game. Both tight ends for both teams had really good games.
Yep.
But our defense doesn't know how to clutch up, and it all comes down to play calling. Our play calling is so bad.
Fire that entire staff.
Yeah.
Play callers.
Honestly, I think Brian Flores just stopped being the head coach, just be in charge of trades.
Yeah, that team, they need help. I'm sorry, Dolphins fans.
We need
you
help.
Guys say that you guys are probably officially knocked out of playoff contention if you play even anywhere close to this down the stretch. If you guys want a chance at the playoffs, you guys are going to have to turn it around this year.
What else we have to do? Stop making Tua throw the ball 40 times a game.
Yeah, and do you guys know any playmakers that the Dolphins could possibly go after at the trade deadline to help you turn the season around? I can think of one off my mind.
Oh, Dalvin Jr.
Nah.
Bro, why are you going to trade Tua after him having his best career game ever?
That's a bit far.
He had 4 touchdowns. Yes, he had 2 picks, but he had 4 touchdowns.
2 picks. 2 crucial picks.
Yeah, that's true.
2 picks. And a loss to the Falcons.
Yeah, that's true. Mike Gesicki and Kyle Pitts both had big games on National Tight End Day. You can't forget. Gotta emphasize that.
Isaiah officially took something out of his bio after the last play of the game.
We're not gonna say that. Xavier Howard had that really good pick on Calvin Ridley where he just stole it out of his hands.
Yeah.
That was probably the highlight of that game. At least for our defense. For our offense, it was Mike Gesicki mossing that Falcons player for the touchdown.
Also, Calvin Ridley has not been seeing that many targets this year compared to last year.
Pretty crowded receiving core, though.
What?
It's crowded receiving core. I count Cordell Patterson as part of the receiving core, though. All right. Moving on. The biggest... Just... How do you put this game in words?
What game?
Patriots, Jets.
Oh, massacre.
Zach Wilson goes out with an injury early in the game, causing Mike White to come in when they were already down by 20 points.
Yeah. Bad game. Kendrick Bourne, touchdown throw.
Kendrick Bourne had a touchdown throw. Mike White and Kendrick Bourne had the same amount of touchdowns.
Yeah, that's
Damien
crazy.
Harrison had a big game. He was averaging 7 yards a carry.
Yep, and also, as some of you know, because of this injury...
Hold on.
Sorry.
Continue.
Okay, so because of this injury to Zach Wilson, the Jets did go out and make a trade for Joe Flacco.
I'm not sure how much it's going to help them, though.
Yeah, we'll see.
Brandon Bolden, though, their backup running back, had a really good game.
Yeah,
in terms of catching the ball, he had 6 catches.
This definitely shows how Bill Belichick likes to use a running back committee. I mean, he did it with Sony Michel and James White, and he added Damian Harrison in the mix. Now we got Brandon Bolden in. I mean, they don't like picking one running back and sticking with him.
Yeah. They also like trick plays. We learned that one. Oh, that was so bad that Brian Hoyer had to come in. That says something. And Brian Hoyer has to come in.
Yeah.
All right. Probably one of the most uninteresting games we saw all weekend. Eagles-Raiders.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Eagles didn't impress me. The Raiders just didn't make mistakes. That's all they did. They had one Derek Carr interception, but other than that, they just played football. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty boring game. I watched the highlights of it. Also, it's looking like the Eagles are actually going to be running with Kenneth Gainwell, I believe is how you say his name.
Kenneth Gainwell? Oh, I can see him. The receiver?
He's a running back.
Wait, he's a running back? Are you sure?
He's been taking carries than Miles Sanders.
Yeah, I could see that. But he also can do damage out of receiving. I thought he was a receiver. He had 4 catches for 41 yards.
Yeah. But he's a running back. He's more of a receiving back, but I mean, Miles Sanders, not a good fantasy option.
So, yeah, that's all of the Eagles-Raiders game. Raiders advanced to 5-2. I think the most interesting thing about this game is that the Raiders have better records than the Bills.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, the Bills have faced tough opponents, though, but...
Yeah. All right. No PS5s to give away today, sadly.
Yes, sir.
Honestly, give credit to the Lions and credit to them. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Keeping that game close.
They came out and terrified me at first.
They were up 10-0 at one point.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, all right, well, time to move to Canada because I don't really have that much cash, but...
Here we are.
Yeah.
Jared Goff kind of struggled, but DeAndre Swift had a pretty solid game, having 96 receiving yards.
Yeah. Matthew Stafford had a breakout game, just really shoved it in the Lions for trading them.
Just for torturing him in Detroit.
Yeah. Also, Cooper Kupp.
Fantastic game.
Even know. I don't even know what to say about him. I would say right now, hot take, right now, if you're just looking at this year, not saying like best skill-wise or anything,
but if you just look at this year, stats.
He is the best receiver in the league right now.
Just looking at stats, but still, fantastic player. He's proving to be a top 5 receiver by the end of the year if he keeps this up.
Easily. He's top 3 right now.
All right, moving on. Bears, Buccaneers. We got this game televised, Tyler, and
bad game.
Do we even want to, like...
Justin Fields struggled.
Did you see he was literally crying on the sideline?
Yeah, I don't blame him. I'd be crying if I was in his situation.
Herbert, no, you want to hear something crazy? Khalil Herbert actually did something against that Buccaneers run defense. He had 100 yards and 5.5 yards to carry.
Buccaneers, I don't even know what to say. If you just looked at their roster right now, best team in the league are not even comparable to any other team. I mean, you look at this team, it is ridiculously how stacked they are. Yeah. They have an elite front seven. Their linebacker core, an elite. Okay, so their linebacker core, elite. Their defensive line, insane, ridiculous. Their secondary, I know they've been facing a ton of injuries, but once they come back, their secondary is going to be solid. And they have a great quarterback in Tom Brady still. They have the receiving core is easily top 3 in the league. Ridiculously good receiving core. Tight end, they have Rob Gronkowski, OJ Howard, I think Cameron Brate got traded, but
no, he's still on the team.
Okay, yeah, well then Cameron Brate. So they have a solid tight end core, and their offensive line is great with Tristan Wirfs and a few other great pieces on that line.
If me that Tristan Wirfs wasn't the best player to come out of last year's draft class, that's a problem.
Yeah, and also the running.
Tristan Wirfs is most definitely the best player to come out of that draft.
And now Leonard Fournette is showing up he's starting to do really good this season. Yeah, so Bucs team easily a Super Bowl contender.
Yep.
I would say right now they are the Super Bowl favorites.
Cardinals have looked good. Rams have looked good. I don't know. We'll have to see down the stretch.
Between them and the Cardinals, I would say.
5-31. I don't think there's much I have to say.
Oh, yeah.
Just a rough game. I don't even know what to say. Like this is basically if the varsity football team took on a bunch of middle schoolers.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
It's just not fair. At one point, the Texans had a lead, though, but Arizona didn't like that. So they proceeded to drop 31 unanswered on them.
Yeah. I don't think this was really a shock to anybody if the Cardinals would have we're going to win this game. But, I mean, 5-31, they couldn't have made it at least somewhat competitive.
Yeah, they didn't allow that.
I wonder what the over-under for this game was.
Cardinals. Here, I'm actually going to look that up.
Cardinals up 27 points over-under.
Cardinals, Texans, over-under. Let's do it. Oh, wait, no, not that. The over-under was 47.5 points. Like, are the teams going to combine? The spread?
Yeah.
The spread? What was the spread? I just want to know how much the Cardinals were favored by.
Points favorite.
The Cardinals were favored by
20 points. I looked it up. It says 20-point favorites.
17.5. They were favored by 17.5.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're kind of stupid if you didn't pick the over on that because...
Bro, that's insane. Being favored by 17.5. That's like massive.
Yeah. Also,
imagine if the Texans went for 2. Imagine if the Texans. It was an 18-point game. The Texans went for 2 at the end of the game.
That'd be funny.
And you bet the over.
This would be literally crying right now. Everybody, bro. The Texans would be flamed if that happened, and they got it.
Yeah.
Also, okay, so going back to the Bucs and Bears game, there was another interesting thing that did happen during that game.
Oh yeah. Okay, you can explain it.
Okay, so Tom Brady threw his 600th touchdown pass to I believe Mike Evans.
But no one's gonna talk about it because it was National Tight End Day.
Yeah. It should have been to OJ Howard, but okay.
Yeah.
That's the point. So Tom Brady threw up his 600th touchdown pass to Mike Evans. Mike Evans unknowingly picked up the football,
and gave Tom Brady's 600th
football, and gave it to a fan. Yes, this football, which is estimated at $500,000 of value, was just given to a fan. So
But you want to
Crazy.
let me tell them what. So basically, one of the equipment guys, he was like trying to negotiate. What do you know what the guy got? He got a game ball from the game, just a regular game ball, and $1,000 to use in the team store. So
There was actually a little bit more.
This guy lost over $400,090.
Here we go. I just got they gave him more after that. So this is officially what the final stuff they gave him. So they gave him the replacement ball. They gave him the $1,000 to team store. They gave him 2 signed jerseys. Tom Brady and Mike Evans signed jerseys.
Worth a lot.
They gave him a game used signed helmet.
Yeah, those are okay.
They gave him game used Mike Evans cleats that were signed.
Okay, that's pretty good. Still,
and
he lost a lot of money.
And Tom Brady himself gave him a Bitcoin.
A Bitcoin?
A Bitcoin. Yes, I'm being dead serious.
Tom Brady gave this guy a Bitcoin.
Yes. and do you know how much Bitcoins are worth?
How much?
$63,000 in Bitcoin.
Holy! Okay, this guy didn't lose that much. And plus,
no.
if he wasn't gonna sell any of that stuff, I would much rather have all that stuff than of that ball. Honestly.
Yeah. So, I mean, either way, the fan can't complain at all because he is the luckiest person there. I mean, either way, you can't complain.
Tom Brady signed jersey. And
Mike Evans signed jersey. You got cleats, game used, helmet, game used, Bitcoin, $1,000 to the team store. I mean, you can't complain. I mean,
think about what you get that $1,000 to the team store. You can honestly trade that too. You can probably get something valuable if you trade that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you'd easily get way more than $1,000 because it would be given to him, and everybody knows about it, so it would be like very popular. So you could get some stuff for that.
All right, Colts 49ers. Wasn't there like a dumb amount of fumbles in this game?
Can you pause the video?
Yeah. All right, up next we have the Colts-Niners game, and I found this thing. The game apparently had 7 total fumbles, 4 lost fumbles, multiple missed snaps from under center, and a muff punt by Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
Okay, he also kicked the ball into the end zone.
Yeah, I remember that. But I would definitely say the Colts, they haven't looked terrible this year. Carson Wentz, man, I'm telling you, he's actually looking like a stall. I would say he's
elite, but he's been serviceable.
I would think he's a great quarterback, but he's definitely serviceable for the Colts. And I think they're definitely getting value out of him. He had a great game, actually, or he had a solid game, actually. Michael Pittman showed that he's definitely the number 1 option in Indianapolis. So great draft pick for him. But yeah, the Colts, they had a solid game. Niners, if they're not going to get Brandon Ayuk involved and Trey Sermon and just some of their other pieces that they did, I don't know why they drafted Trey Sermon when they did, only to just completely leave him out of this offense. But
Elijah Mitchell got all the carries. So if Elijah Mitchell's on your waivers, you should probably pick him up.
Yeah. Do we know if Mostert's coming back this year?
I don't know.
Okay.
Honestly, knowing him, he's probably going to end up getting injured again. All right,
yeah.
And the final game. Probably the most boring game we had all week. Saints Seahawks.
DK Metcalf. Let's just talk about this 84-yard touchdown.
Won me my fantasy league single-handedly on that one play.
15 fantasy points, yeah. So that was the longest passing play this year.
And that's all he did. He had one more catch for like 12 yards and then nothing else after.
Yeah, but the Saints won that game. The Seahawks without Russell Wilson
has shown that their offense is not good.
Bottom 10 team without Russell Wilson.
They just haven't looked good without him.
Bad team without him. He needs to come back.
I saw this meme. It's like the Saints' entire offense just shows Jameis Winston and Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
Jonathan
So,
Kamara having 128 receiving yards. Let's remind you, he's a running back. He's not a receiver.
But basically, the Seahawks, they're going to have a rough time in their division they're in without being a great team.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to
Without
think
Russell
their
Wilson,
division, this division, the Niners, Rams, and the Cardinals, that is a nasty division.
And you guys couldn't beat the Steelers or the Seahawks. You played close games. You just couldn't close them.
You mean the
Steelers.
Saints?
Saints and Steelers, yeah.
You said Steelers and Seahawks.
Yeah. Saints, you know what I mean? Saints and Steelers. They couldn't close out those games. I just want to take a little peek at who they play next. They play the Jaguars next. They should win that game.
Yeah, hopefully.
Spoiler alert on my prediction for the next game. Oh yeah, I was totally going with the upset there.
I'm picking the Jags. I'm actually taking the money line on that. I'm betting 1K on the Jags
so
winning
you're betting
it.
your entire life savings. Pretty much. That's like the most surefire bet ever.
Can you imagine the payout though if the Jags win that game and you bet $1,000?
Bro, yeah.
The payout's gonna be in the $20,000-$30,000.
Yeah,
honestly.
I know. The Jags win that game. Yeah. So, is there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap it up?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video on Thursday.